All right, so the number one question, what am I using to create 3D? I'm using Nomad Sculpt. You can find more information at nomadsculpt.com. It is a 3D sculpting, 3D modeling application. It is for Android and iPad tablets. I use it on an iPad Pro 2021. I love it. I can't recommend it enough. And yes, you can sculpt things and model things and then have them 3D printed. I can't wait to get into 3D printing, but I haven't opened that can of worms just yet. I do have tutorials. I have tutorials on YouTube, so I have free tutorials on YouTube. I also have classes. I have a ton of classes on Skillshare, and I also have some classes on Udemy. I'm actually just finishing my second class on Udemy, so if you want to learn that way, more structured courses, more structured classes, then Skillshare is your best bet. And they actually have a sale right now, so check the description. All that information, you can go to drugfreedave.com and you can find out more. Wireframe. People are obsessed with the wireframe. So I am not trying to animate. All I'm doing is making 3D art. So that's all that I concentrate on, is making really cool 3D art, 3D renders, 3D illustrations. I eventually want to print. So I think about that as well, but I don't have a printer yet, so I'm not really worried about it. So no, the mesh is not clean. The wireframe is not clean. I don't know how to retopo. I don't know how to retopologize it. I don't know how to animate. Nomad Sculpt, there's no animation yet. You can do like frame by frame animation if you export like images, but no, there's no rigging, there's no bones, there's none of that in Nomad Sculpt. It's just sculpting and modeling. Can I make a 3D sculpt for you? So this is like a multi-layered thing. I usually 3D sculpt things that I actually am interested in and want to sculpt. Otherwise, it would kind of be torturous to like be sculpting things that like I don't like and aren't fun to sculpt. So I don't really do sculpts for people. I could, and obviously I'd probably charge quite a bit because 3D is very difficult. There's a lot of steps, and people want changes and things like this. So it can be sort of a nightmare, unless it's like a really cool character or a character that I'd want to do on my own. I just don't really do like commissions that way, because then it's like, people want me to sculpt like their children or something like that, or like their grandmother's dog or something like that. And it's like, it's just not really like what I do or what I am interested in sculpting. And it's really important to sculpt things and to be passionate about things that you're passionate about and sculpt things that you want to sculpt. So I'm still in that phase where I'm really just sculpting the things that I'm interested in and the things that I want to sculpt. So if you ask for a commission and I don't reply, I do apologize. It's just, I don't really do a lot of commissions these days. I don't really feel like commissions are worth it for the type of style that I do. I did one commission and it was very difficult because I just had to match the artwork. And it's really difficult for me to not see artwork or see something that I have to sculpt and fix the mistakes. So that was very difficult for me. But it taught me a lot. It taught me that I'm not really that interested in doing commissions if the things that I've learned, if my artistic ability and the skills and the ways that I think that it would be amazing, if I can't implement that, then I know that it's not really a project for me. So we're all growing and learning and continuing to move forward. So some of the other things I get all the time is like, how do I get the sculpts so clean looking? Well, really the way that I get things clean, if you voxel remesh something at a low number, you can smooth it out and make it really smooth. So you do that, you make everything really smooth, and then you can voxel remesh at a high number, and then you can add details. Sometimes you might have to go back and forth, and it's a lot of work. But if you really want to know how I do, then I would suggest watching any tutorial or any walkthrough that I do on YouTube, and just go to whatever the certain spots are that you think look clean, and just watch how I do it, because it's not there's no like one fix. Like it's all really from the beginning. Like I have to be thinking about how I'm going to make something from start to finish. And it also has a lot to do with post-processing, the materials I'm using, lighting. So it's just not one size fits all. You kind of have to just watch how I sculpt from start to finish to see how I make everything smooth. There's no real easy answer for that. But what I like is I show that it is possible, because it's very possible. You just have to be thinking about it and learn how to think about it from the beginning in order to get to where you want it to be. Do I get a lot of crashes? I don't. I actually don't even have autosave on because it just annoys me how it always pops up, or used to pop up. I don't know. I've had it off for years now, but I don't really get that many crashes. I'm using an iPad Pro 2021. I think there's 8 gigabytes of RAM, but no, it doesn't crash that much. I also don't work. I rarely go over like 2.5 or 3 million polys or vertices, whatever. I rarely go over that. The more you sculpt and the more efficient you get, you learn to sort of minimize that, and you can sculpt things and keep the file size low. So I get crashes every now and again. Usually it's when I'm doing something like I may voxel merge like a bunch of meshes together really high. Sometimes I'll save right before I do that, just in case. But as far as otherwise, I don't really get too many crashes. I think I used to, maybe early on. I was using a first generation iPad Pro, and I was up to like 5 or 6 million. I think I got more then, but now I don't get too many crashes. Do I know any other 3D applications? Do I work with any other 3D applications? No. 20-something years ago, I went to art school and I sort of tried to get into, I think, 3D Studio Max and Maya. I never made anything. I never created anything. I never really sculpted. Still, looking back, I have no idea what I was trying to learn. So this is technically my first 3D application where I'm actually making things and actually enjoying it. So I don't really know anything else. I've tried Blender, but it's just so difficult for me to wrap my mind around 3D sculpting on a computer going like this to like draw. Like, I've always hated that. So basically I use the iPad for everything, and hopefully a lot more things come to the iPad, because the iPad just clicks to me. Like, if I can just see and draw and make things, it just works. So I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Other questions that I get a lot, those are usually the main ones. And so I just wanted to address them and sort of talk through them. But if there's anything else you want to know, any other questions you want to know about me or how I sculpt or, what I do, then just drop them in the comments. I'm happy to do more videos like this and sort of just talk about the whole process. If any of you 3D print, please let me know what printers you use, what 3D printers you use, what resin you use, all that stuff. I think I'm going to go with a resin printer. I'm looking into it. So if you have any information, just drop it in the comments, because I would love to see, and I appreciate you sharing whatever you know and whatever you think about the printer. Would you still get the same printer? Would you get a new printer now? Would you get 6K, 8K? What kind of resin? Anything. If you're excited about it, or if you like to talk about your print stuff, then just let me know and post it in the comments. All right. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. What's up, guys? Just wanted to let you know that Skillshare is having a sale, 40% off for the year. And the deal is going up until April 30th. So it's up until the end of the month. So if you're thinking about it, if you want to get into 3D, if you want to do some Procreate classes, Nomad Sculpt classes, I have a bunch on Skillshare. Make sure to check it out and make sure to take advantage of 40% off until April 30th. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video.